it's my great pleasure to sit down with Dr. Katherine Dunbabin, the 2021 winner of the AIA's Gold Medal for Distinguished Archaeological Achievement. Dr. Dunbabin has been instrumental in establishing the subject of mosaics as a valid and freestanding field within Roman art and archaeology. An unrivaled leader and model with North American and international ancient mosaic studies, she has traveled widely to assemble data, incorporating mosaics of the empire, including North Africa and Spain, into consideration of Roman life and culture. The very high standard of scholarly research she has set has been a model and an inspiration to 3 generations of art historians and archaeologists. So welcome and congratulations, Dr. Dunbabin.
Thank you very much.
So my first question to you is, what led you to work in archaeology?
I was born into an archaeological family. My parents had met at the British School, when they were both at the British School at Athens before the Second World War. So I grew up with their stories of travels and excavations in Greece. I first had my direct encounter with anything archaeological in the field when, at the age of 8, when we went on a family holiday to Italy and went to Ischia to meet Giorgio Buchner, who had just started his excavations in the necropolis of Pithecusae. And he showed us his excavations, and he allowed my brother and me to find small sherds in a cliff and to remove them, something that would be sort of shocking nowadays. But I found a small piece with stripes that my father said was Proto-Corinthian, and I kept it for a long time. I don't know what happened to it. But so that was what started me off. And after that, it was very easy to be interested in the field.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what aspects of your work have you found most fascinating?
What I've really found satisfying has been when I've been working on a topic and suddenly things have begun to fall into place. That different bits of evidence come together, both visual and written sometimes, and they make a pattern that offers one a new insight into some aspect of ancient life and culture. And for one example, I'd quote the time when I was looking at a mosaic in the sanctuary of Demeter and Kore at Corinth, excavated by Nancy Bukidis. And there was a slab missing in the middle, slab of stone or something of that sort in the middle of the mosaic panel. And I realized that it was the outline of a pair of feet. And I could then compare it with other representations of feet carved in rock or represented in mosaic, but also with written accounts like that of Apuleius, when he speaks about adoring the vestigia, the footprints of the goddess. And I realized that what the slab must have been, whether of stone, marble, or perhaps even of silver, a representation of the footprints that were conceived as the actual footprints of the goddess when she made her epiphany to the worshippers. And it showed quite how visual a form and substantial a form that the ancient worshipper would have had of the appearance of his deities. That's just one example, but it's the way in which one suddenly begins to understand something that one didn't before about ancient culture. It makes it so much more real.
Great, great. What would you consider your greatest contribution to archaeology then?
Well, I have watched over the course of my career the growing interest of both in Roman art generally and in mosaics in particular. When I started out, there was very little interest in, certainly in mosaics, but honestly not very much interest even in the wider field of Roman art. And over the course of my career, this has just changed dramatically, and an enormous increase, not only among specialists, but also among the general public, so that one finds, for instance, that the media will frequently contain reports on the latest discovery or if it may be a mosaic in Britain or Turkey. The most recent one I've seen is the painted counter of a thermopolium in Pompeii that was reported on only about 2 days ago. And while, of course, a great many people have contributed to bringing about this state of affairs, but I like to think that my work on mosaics has helped to bring this particular part of ancient art before the interest and aroused the enthusiasm of a wider public as well as of specialists.
Indeed, indeed. So my next question really has something more to do with the AIA. Can you tell us what you value most about your membership in the AIA and how it's contributed to your career?
It's been a source of contact and collegiality. And these are very important qualities for archaeologists, perhaps almost more for archaeologists than some other disciplines. They simply have to know what is going on in the field, the latest news on whatever it is. They have to know the people who are working not only in one's own specialized area, but also much more widely. And my working life has been spent in Canada, and I'm British by training. So without some outside source of these contacts, I might easily have known a very much smaller number of the archaeological world, especially in the United States. And what the AI offers through things like the lecture program, the annual meeting, and of course the HAA is this contact with what is going on in the whole field of ancient art and archaeology. And that is something that is really very important to broaden one's horizons, to improve one's scholarship, and also, of course, as a source of support and encouragement and friendship.
Great, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
One final point, I've had an awful lot of fun from my career, a lot of interest, but I would also say a lot of fun. So I can recommend it to anyone interested in the field.
What a wonderful note to end on. Thank you so much for making the time to talk with me today. Congratulations on your award. And I will see you at the award ceremony on Thursday, January 7th, at 5 p.m. So let me stop.